Hello and welcome back to my channel, Literary Lauren. Today we are doing the mid-year book freakout tag, and safe to say I have always wanted to do a book tag like this one, and as soon as I made this YouTube channel, this video was set on the calendar. I'm so excited that I get to talk to you about my favorite books of the year. I've read almost 60, I think, which is kind of insane. My best reading year ever was 72 books in the full year, and I think we're going to beat that. I think it's going to be the best reading year yet, and I've had great success. I'm looking at all the books that I've pulled for this video, and let's get to gushing because oh my goodness, I love all of them so much. I've got my little booktube bible basically sat in front of me, so if you see me looking down, it is at my notebook where I've written down the questions and my answers. The first question is, what is the best book that I've read in 2025? And it is without a doubt The Wedding People by Alison Espok. This was my first 6-star read of the year, and it honestly blew my socks off. It is an amazing book. It is about this woman who goes to this hotel with the intention of ending her life. She is in a very dark place and she decides to treat herself to one night at the hotel that she's always dreamed of attending and having a night there. On arrival, she realizes that she is the only person at the hotel that is not there for the wedding. Every other room is booked by someone from the wedding, and she stumbles across the bride to be and she goes, "No, you can't do that to me. I'm getting married." Very bluntly says, "No, you can't do this to me." I really loved it. The main character is like a Victorian era professor, and so it's so referential to other things, especially Mrs. Dalloway and I think Jane Eyre, but I have a theory that this book is like a modern day Mrs. Dalloway if the two characters from Mrs. Dalloway were to meet. But this is me nerding out a little bit, so I'm sorry. Like when I say I loved Mrs. Dalloway, I mean I loved it. I had every intention of writing an essay on this one. Mrs. Dalloway is like a high society woman, and she is throwing a party similarly to the wedding in The Wedding People. And then we are also then flipping to the perspective or the narrative of Septimus Warren Smith, and he has come back from the war and he is incredibly traumatized and he is suffering from shell shock, which we now know is PTSD. He, in this book, spoiler warning, skip ahead about 30 seconds, he kills himself because he is going to be forced to do the rest cure or something similar. I can't quite remember what it was. So this book genuinely feels like it's what if those two characters from Mrs. Dalloway met, and what if the frivolity of the person, the bride, what if that frivolity then intrigued the character that is in a very dark place. Any positive question or prompt for this here video, just know that it covers all the bases. It made me happy, it made me cry, it surprised me, it shocked me, and new favorite author, hello. So I think that Mrs. Dalloway and Jane Eyre are probably essential reading before reading this one to take away everything that this book can give you, but without a doubt, it's an amazing book. The next question of this video is the best sequel of 2025. This one may have a little bit of recency bias, but who cares? It is Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood, and it is a very loose independent standalone to Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood, but it still counts. This genuinely made me cry. I loved this book so much. We follow Maya in this book, and she is Eli's younger sister by about a 15-year age gap, but she kind of has a crush on Eli's best friend, Connor. We get flashbacks to their past, and then they are kind of not trapped, but it's a forced proximity situation because they are in Italy in this like villa manor, beautiful, stunning place. They are kind of a wedding party together and they have to interact. And I loved it so much. It just hit me at the right time. It was such a beautiful romance and so deeply romantic. Yes, it is an age gap romance, but I think it is done well and so unbelievably beautifully. Definitely a successful read and the best sequel I have read this year. The next question is new releases that I want to get to. And I have a few. I want to read Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. It gives really big Succession vibes and I think I'm going to love it. Olivia Blake scares me in that I love her writing so much and I always get intimidated. So I am going to let kind of the hustle and bustle about it die down and then I'm going to dive into it like I have with every other book by her because they're all on my shelves and half of them are unread. Now this one is like absolutely blasphemous that I haven't read this yet, but it's We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. My boyfriend and I are reading this together and we have started it 3 times and haven't completed it, and we're in the middle of reading it again, and this is a promise that we will finish it by the end of July. I'm so over not having this book read because I love him so much and we just need to get to it. And the next one is Vera Wong, the next book, which I think is Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man or something like that. It's the title is kind of escaping me, but I think that's what it is, by Jessie Q Susanto. I really liked the first one. I think it was cheeky and fun, and the audiobook is on Everend, so I think I'm going to pick it up soon on my drive to work because it is just that fun, cozy mystery that also fuels your soul. It's so wholesome. So I'm very excited to pick that one up soon. The next question is, what is my most anticipated release of 2025? And I'm going to give you 4 because can I choose between my darlings? No. My most anticipated release is the next Thursday Murder Club book. I don't even know what it's called, but I'll put the cover somewhere here. I deeply, deeply love the Thursday Murder Club. It is the book that got me into reading mysteries, and I need to dive back into that because I have neglected my mysteries on my shelves. But I love the characters so much. The 4th book broke me in a way that I do not care to describe because it was bad. I bawled my eyes out, and it is just such beautiful writing. He just gets human relationships. He just gets humanity. Returning to those characters will be returning to a warm hug. Then next one is the sequel to Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and I have not looked at it at all. Don't want to know anything about it, so don't tell me, but I'm very excited for that because I think I liked those characters a little bit more. Not majorly, just a touch. The next anticipated release is Wildcard by Elsie Silver. I think I'm going to like this one. I think it's a little bit age gap. I think it's going to be that messiness. So I'm ready for the mess. And last but not least, but I think it's the one I'm most excited about, is People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. If you know me, I love all of her books, and this next book, it's like poet slash artist, strangers to lovers. Shop it right now. Get it to me. Thank you. I don't even know when it's going to be released. I just want to be surprised. I'm so excited. She released The Tropes. Just go look at them because you might like them too. Now, this is the question that I've been dreading because I did kind of rant about this book in my last video, and you can go do that if you want to know more of my thoughts. But the next question is my most disappointing read of 2025, and this takes the cake. Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. I was so angry about this book, and I have subsequently forgot about it. I read it about a month ago, I think, and I am beyond done thinking about this book because it was so beyond disappointing. I just wanted to scream in the face of all these characters and be like, just show a bit of maturity. I don't think it lived up to the trajectory that Lost and Lassoed set up for this book. Lost and Lassoed is 100% carrying the rest of the series because I don't think these work for me. It was very disappointing because I was looking forward to this, especially after Lost and Lassoed, but it was a 1.5 stars. Now, my biggest surprise for 2025 is the All for the Game series by, is it Nora Sakovic? It's the All for the Game series by Nora Sakovic. I picked this up because I think the 5th one in the series was released, and I thought, you know what, they're cheap on Kindle, I'm going to pick them up. And then I read them when I was sick and basically bedrotting. I was so unwell. Oh my goodness, the way that it blew my socks off, and I was deeply emotional and deeply connected to the characters. It was a massive surprise because I went in knowing to check the trigger warnings, and I did, because holy moly, it is dark and it is depressing at parts and hard to read, but whoa, I really, really liked the series. I don't want to say I loved the characters. I loved the character dynamics. I'm rooting for all the characters that have gone through something. I am wanting them to get their, I guess, happy ending, even though the circumstances that they are in, they are not happy. They are hard to read, but it is so beyond worth it. Those characters are just going to be absolutely kind of in my past basket, but also I would go to bat for them. Alrighty, so the next question is favorite new author, and without a doubt, Ali Hazelwood has definitely cemented herself as a favorite author. I first read one of her books on Boxing Day of last year, and subsequently I only have the really short audiobook that's on Spotify and Check and Make to read. I've read everything else. I have devoured everything this woman has written, and I'm trying to space out the 2 that I haven't yet read. I need to space it out. I need to give myself some breathing room so that then I can not have months and months without reading an Ali, which probably isn't the best way to be, but I love her so deeply. That's one. And honestly, a bit of a surprise favorite author because I picked these books up on a whim, but Elsie Silver. I binged basically all of her backlist, and they're just a really fun time. I very much think Elsie Silver is now in my favorite author basket. The next question is newest fictional crush, but also again, I think this is kind of going to suffer from recency bias because I am saying that I love both Connor and Maya. Who else? I think Cade from Heartless and Willa. Honestly, these two are both amazing, separate and apart and together. I love them. And then my newest favorite character, I'm taking this as someone that I really connected to. Special mention to Sarah from Out of the Woods. I think she went on such a beautiful character arc, both her and kind of second chance marriage, romance, rekindling in this book. I think that she went on a really big journey, and I read it at the right time because I felt very lost, and this character is feeling very lost with what she wants to do with her life, and I think that really connected to me, and I just really loved her story. Next is a book that made me cry, and yes, it's recency bias, but I don't care. If you watched my most recent video, you would know that this made me cry like a baby. Insert footage here. Yeah. She cried so much, and not because it's sad, but because it's so deeply romantic. Just love how much they love each other, and I'm obsessed with it. It just makes me cry, happy, laugh, but really, it was just so deeply romantic, and I loved it so much. But also Reckless by Elsie Silver. This one, I think, just go in blind, because what happens in this book is very unexpected. My jaw hit the freaking floor. It hit the floor. We follow Theo Silva, and he is struggling with carving his own path in the bull riding scene. His dad was a bull rider but died in a bull riding accident, and he was kind of taken in by Rhett, which is the main character of the first book in this series, kind of taken under his wing, but he's also left in both of their shadow, and he's trying to carve a name for himself. He meets Winter, which is Summer's sister in the first book, and they kind of hit it off. And that's all I want to tell you. There's a bit of a plot twist in the middle of this book, or at the start of this book, that absolutely left me gobsmacked, but I also thought it was very deeply emotional, romantic, and just really sweet. So this one made me cry in the early hours of a morning, but we don't need to talk about it. Now, a book that made me happy. I'm so happy to say that I have video footage of me reading all of these books, because the way that I look back at that footage and I'm like, I was the happiest girl in the world. First up, Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I was beyond happy reading this book. It was a 5 stars from probably chapter 2. I loved it. I was giggling, kicking my feet. We follow Scarlett, and she is coming back from a pretty bad sports injury. She is a college level diver, but she does have hope for the Olympics. And she is introduced to Lucas, and her friend, who is actually Lucas's girlfriend, says to her, "Oh, you actually have the same proclivities, if you get what I mean. Why don't you guys just get together?" And it is a very sex forward book. It is through that the characters then connect and they fall in love through that. Obsessed. Are you joking? Next up, Heartless by Elsie Silver. This cemented her as a favorite author. There is video footage of me absolutely losing my mind over some of these quotes, and going back and annotating this book in particular is going to be the most amazing thing known to man. And I think I want to do like a spoiler-filled vlog of me annotating these books, because I think it would just be the most fun time, and I really want to reread it because this book had me hooked within the first 2 chapters. It was phenomenal. Then I don't have my copy. My friend has borrowed it, and I just remembered that I need to get it off her. But Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young is like returning to a warm hug. It is one of the most beautiful love stories I've ever read, and I loved it so much. So that book always makes me happy, and it was a reread. It was still cemented as a 5 stars. A beautiful book. Oh, the second to last question of this tag is the most beautiful cover that I have bought or been given, and I picked this one up recently actually, and it is Elegy Southwest by Adeline Watts. When I tell you that this cover has always captured me and always made me deeply happy, it is stunning, beyond stunning. And I got a signed copy because I just wanted one, is kind of the answer. I said to myself, whatever this signature looks like is going to determine whether I buy this book or not. It's kind of iconic, crosses out the name in print and writes her name underneath. I'm doing that. I'm stealing that when I become an author. But I had to pick it up because this cover is beyond stunning. Just a moment for the cover. And honestly, I don't even actually know what this book is about, but it's an Australian author. It's a beautiful cover. Do you need to know anything else? The final question of this book tag is books I need to read in 2025. I'm just going to say my whole TBR because there's a lot up there. There's so much up there that I need to read. My remaining Ali Hazelwood. Finishing Spy Family is a big one because I'm like halfway through and I have them there. We need to read Richard Osman's book, We Solve Murders. Honestly, my entire TBR, I just have too much. I have too much on there, and that is why TBR takedown is a thing. Thank you so much for watching this video and coming along while I answered the questions of my first ever mid-year book freakout tag. I'm so excited that I got to do this and got to gush about my favorite books ever of this year. We might need to sit down and do a favorite books ever video because I like gushing about books I found. So I will talk to you in the next one, but let me know your most anticipated read of this year, your favorite book that you've read this year. Honestly, anything. I want to hear your thoughts. I will see you in the next one. Have a lovely day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, actually. Please do that. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.